Hello, everybody. This is us. We are here today. Already seeing some new faces, and even though I can't see your faces, I can see new names.
It's the names that count.
Yes, it is.
Ash, you're my favorite, just so you know.
Don't support. This is my advice. Don't support the one who's clearly in the wrong.
You know?
What was I saying? Oh yeah, hi. This is Table Scraps. We are the Paper Dungeon. This is our show that we have on Thursdays, sometime around 1:30 CST, unless we're tired or super energetic, in which case we do it at a different time, because that's what we do here. This is kind of a little like a talk show almost that we do about our Dungeons and Dragons game that we play on Monday nights. We had a little bit of a break last week, but this week we had one. Some things occurred. Some random, like, really boring, lame stuff happened. And we're here now. But before we can get to the actual fun part, I have to stall for time by our, 1,000 announcements that I have, which has become my own pregame ritual. First off, we have socials: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. They're awesome. You should check them out. Lydia works on them, except for the Twitter, which is Grant. So if you don't want to follow the Twitter, I would understand you.
Poor Grant.
I work so hard.
Yeah, it's actually pretty alright. We also have a website if you want to buy merch that has to support us, and you can... My hat is so gross. But you can buy hats that aren't gross and have our logo on it and stuff like that.
Wow. Nothing. Just Spaff betrayed me.
Oh, get
On
wrecked.
I saw it.
On a deep level. That's rude right there.
Got him.
I will respect the creativity because I've never seen that before, but that was rude.
That's really good. I just saw it, and that's really quality. That respect is given. Other than our website, we also have a YouTube that you can catch up on all of our previous episodes and any of our side content. We have mini campaigns and things that we've done in the past and will do in the future that you can catch on there. So check those out. Our shorts are performing pretty dang well right now. YouTube, I'm really out of it today. You can also join our Discord, and I recommend you not join it through our YouTube links, because I don't know if they've been fixed yet, but Grant might have done that. Unsure. Our Discord is popping off.
Discord's a blast.
Be there. It's awesome. You can see cool art that Lydia draws, and sometimes other people also draw. But mainly Lydia. Most of the time it's Lydia. Sometimes it's other stuff. All of it's cool.
But we like all the art, not just Lydia's art. So put your art in there. We want to see it all, even if it's like Boggle.
My art means company.
Yes. But if it's specifically Boggle, get it away. No, we don't want to see it. I don't want to see
Boggles. We love Boggle.
If you would like to support us, easiest way, tell your friends. Be like, hey, people are losers, and but they're pretty alright, so you could watch them, and that's really easy to do. You can also follow. If you have that Twitch Prime, that's just a free sub sitting around there.
That's how I'm
Amazon
subscribed.
Prime, you're there. It's awesome. It's great. It really helps us. We also have a Ko-Fi and a Patreon. Patreon was changed. I think it's $3 now. It's super easy to do. It's great. Other than that, I think that's all.
There are things coming to the Patreon that aren't just whatever.
You can also donate through Streamlabs now. That's an option too.
Oh yes, we have Streamlabs things. That is a thing that we have.
Maz, I already did it.
Get wrecked, Maz.
Renaya Edward Cather Track.
Get demolished.
Wrecked.
Okay, Maz, you drive to the airport and you be awesome. Just don't roast me like everybody else.
Have a good time at the airport. Man, Dungeons and Dragons, game that we have played.
Dandy.
So
last episode.
Oh yeah. I'll give a little bit of context as to where we are right now. Our group has been traveling through my character's home region.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh
yeah,
sorry,
I was gonna mention that.
This is not ours. This is a thing that I got years ago. But in the TPD pirate shirt, add it to the roster of things that we might make if you're interested.
Bro.
And by we, you
We
mean me.
we need to make a Fate's Gambit like crest.
You know how bad the Destiny's Gamble merch would sell out?
Destiny's Gamble. Not even us.
Yes, that would be so good. Just this fake.
You know what we should?
I was talking
gosh,
about
that'd be
how
so
Edmund's spell would be scatter instead of shatter.
Yes. Oh man. Also, I can't remember what Tarak's alternate character like
I can't remember
Destiny's
right.
Gamble is.
Tarax was Carrot.
Oh yes,
I
Carrot.
remember that.
And Carrot specifically only kills. He doesn't attack unless he kills.
I don't remember Renaya's though.
Oh, it was just like
Or it was like a Veronica or something like that. Or something simple.
yeah, something normal.
Anyway.
It was
back to what
it was
we were
like
talking
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Like for
Oh yeah.
Um,
But yeah, hardcore spoiler warning. If you haven't watched this episode, this is one
yeah.
where you have to go watch the episode before you can listen to this. Other ones, it's kind of like, whatever. Yeah, you don't get to see it live, but like this is kind of whatever. No, you have to go watch it. If you haven't watched it, leave.
This one's intense.
Go.
I mean, you can also stay. Like
You-
I
you
am
can
not a
stay.
huge like. I really don't care about spoilers. Like when I watch
Like-
a thing, I don't know if anyone else is like me,
You can stay if you
but
want.
like someone
Right.
could have straight up told me the whole plot to anything I've ever seen or read, and I'd be like, okay, and then just be completely okay with reading it anyway.
But yeah,
Like-
spoiler
Right.
warning. So if you don't
Big
want
spoilers.
spoilers for
Yes.
a really big spoiler, then
Yeah.
come
We
back
gain
in
a viewer.
later.
They're like, oh, spoilers. Yeah, groups traveling
Prepare
through
yourself.
my character's home region, which is a desert that really sucks. That's its whole main characteristic. Everything is bad. To
not
meet up
great.
with some orcs, and the orcs are also not stellar people to be around for the most part, but also to an extent they're pretty good. They're not bad, right, guys?
Horrible.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they just haven't had the opportunity to
They're
express the
actually-
emotions that Tarak is presenting to you
They're
know.
actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
they're
like
rad.
them.
They're great. They're
Oh,
awesome.
the orcs
We
are
love 'em.
awesome.
Yeah, so the goal was gather up a whole bunch of these orcs because we need an army to fight a war, and the orcs that we have are real good at the whole fight and war thing. Maybe the best, some would say. And
That's
so we go there, and my character's an orc, and somehow we, with the power of a plus 12 to persuasion,
It's friendship.
and friendship and the power of it, we're basically to sum it up, our show is My Little Pony. Friendship is magic. There's Doctor Who references. That's the whole show. It was just My Little Pony.
Combined with Doctor Who, not bad.
To be
No?
fair, My Little Pony actually already has Doctor Who references. There is a Doctor Who pony in the show.
It's true.
Is there really?
I used to be a brony, man.
Used to
What
be.
the heck does that mean?
It's a bro hoof.
It's the
What?
it's the people who like My Little Pony.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Friendship.
I love the fact that every time I get onto Table Scraps, you guys end up talking about a show that you watched that I have never known.
Mr.
know
Hey,
anything
you
about.
remember this random obscure
Hey, what
reference
about
from
this
a movie?
I know.
None
I know.
of
I'm
us-
not saying I'm any better. I'm just saying that I have noticed that there's been a trend.
DJ, table
you guys-
scraps. That's our turn. You get the
I'm-
main campaign. This is our
I'm
turn.
not complaining. I'm just noticing a trend. I'm just stating an observation.
Stayed in your head.
Yeah.
No.
Convince some orcs, and by some orcs I mean like 6,000 orcs, to come with us to help fight this war.
Wobble.
And we were working our way towards leaving the desert, and some stuff happened. Things turned out relatively negatively, like to an extent of negativity.
Overall,
And
net
that's where we
positive.
ended. Yeah, it was absolutely net positive.
So wait, I forgot. How did the episode start? It started with you. Wait, what?
Turn your mic down. I was trying to be discreet, but you made a big deal out of
Well,
it.
you could also see it on stream because it popped up in my chat notification. You were like, "Hey, idiot! Gosh dang, deal with
Well,
it."
my mom texted me and she's like, "Tell TJ to turn his mic down. He's really loud."
I can do that manually as well. I was wondering about it. It seemed like it was peaking a little bit.
We're gonna do a little sound check
Okay.
on stream. 1, 2, 3.
Just mute him.
Okay, how we doing? Levels okay?
Okay, a little bit more than that, buddy.
Like, you need to go down a little more?
No. You go up more.
I go up more.
Yeah, welcome to the experience.
Welcome to Table Scripts.
All right, speak for me.
I am speaking. My voice is the greatest thing to ever
That's
grace
pretty
me.
nice.
It's beautiful. It's
could-
sultry.
It's still a little low.
Could be a little bit more.
But it's
I just turned it all the way back up.
Whoa, that's
Wow, that was a lot.
That's the shift of us of
Stop
like
talking.
2 degrees.
too much. To then turn it back 1 degree.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
1
not bad.
degree.
Go one more.
So back to where I was.
Maybe you're
I
just
would-
talking quieter, because this is much better.
I don't understand.
Because the goal is so for a little bit
Mhm.
of insight into what I see, we have these bars, right? And what I
What's a
want
bar?
is for the sound level to just barely hit the yellow part of the bar. If we go too
Mhm.
far into the yellow bar, that's too far. We don't want it to hit red bar. And then but it's hard because I can't individually adjust people's sound, so it's like both of you have to be at the same, and then I can adjust more or less.
Uh-huh.
So
I
like
see,
I
I
would have
see.
just adjusted it myself, because like I probably could have, but I wasn't sure if you were too loud. It was like a maybe.
I
I don't know. So this looks.
So we're
pretty
good now?
Yeah, this looks
We're
pretty good.
good?
You're
All right, let me-
just like right around that start of the yellow bar area.
All right, I'll try not to yell at Lydia.
That's
I'll
hard.
mute faster than you could ever believe.
But anyway,
I'm
Yeah.
very
the
yellable.
episode started with me murdering Tarak. It was really great.
What happened with Murdering Track?
Remember,
That's
you
how
almost got
it started.
assassinated while I was on a date.
Oh yeah, it did. That was a thing. Yeah, we were asleep and then I got stabbed. But I'm like, I have so much health.
Can we talk
Like-
about how much of a homie Gorzar is?
Dude, absolutely. Favorite orc by far.
Is he really?
Yeah, Gorza, gosh
That's
dang,
so funny.
best. He's gonna be the best man at the wedding that I don't have.
I mean,
Beating out Edward and Cather.
well, I maybe you should just have a wedding with Gorzar
That's
since
fair,
Orca's wedding.
dude. If
are
me and
very different.
Gorza are back to back, straight up,
Uh,
there's some like Avengers level, like I'm gonna stab someone crouch and he's gonna vault over me and kick someone in the face. It's gonna be sick.
I mean, if you and Gorzar are back to back, there's a lot of issues because he's a child of Sharkos. So
I mean,
you
yeah,
should
no,
never see
he's
them.
hiding in my shadow.
that's
That's how the teamwork works.
fair.
Um,
So yeah, basically what happened was Renaya was on a date, so she was missing out on her watch. So while that was happening, Umlasha hired or prompted or whatever you want to call it, the Tanar of Shargos to go murder Tarak. So in absolute darkness, he went and did like 90 damage in the first turn. It was awesome.
Lydia, do you have Devil's Sight?
I don't think so.
Dang it. That,
I don't think
okay.
so. I think she's the one that allows her to like see every language and
Yeah. Eyes of the Rune Keeper and
the other one that never comes into play.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Maybe we
to
should talk
you.
about that. Maybe we should do something. maybe
Hey,
we
just
should-
like Renaya in
No,
the
it's
last
the,
episode.
you gain the temporary hit points, don't you? You have the temporary hit points thing?
Yes.
Do you ever use the temporary hit points thing?
Sometimes.
No, because because I can't stack temporary hit points, and
So,
Edward
yeah.
usually gives me aid.
8 isn't temporary
Maybe
hit
we should
points.
talk
It
about
just
that.
increases your max.
No, it gives you 5 temporary.
No, it's 5 to your max. Because you can heal back up to that. It increases your max and heals you that amount.
Oh.
So you can use aid and temp at the same time.
The more you know.
Yeah. Now, what it doesn't stack with is the
However, I don't get a lot of.
It's the
hit points
hammer.
with-
the 50 temp HP from Iraq Varos doesn't
Right.
stack
Oh,
with it.
I thought you were talking about Diamond Crusher, and I was like, that's not an issue anymore.
Yeah, it isn't. No, Iraq Varos can give temporary hit points, and then your
Let's-
I can never remember the name of it. What the spell is. Is it false
Heal?
life or something?
Oh.
Uh, false life sounds right.
It might be. Somewhere deep in my soul,
Well-
it may know the answer to the question that I'm looking for.
No, that's Feigned Death that I'm thinking of. I was like, false life, doesn't that just like put you in a trance? No, I'm thinking of Feigned Death.
You know,
I'm pretty sure it's false life.
there's one that gives you like 1d4 plus your spellcasting modifier of temporary HP.
Yeah.
And that's
But
that's
I
the one
mean,
that you have.
a lot of the times it's not super helpful.
Yeah,
when
right.
The dragon is dealing 80 hit points
Mhm.
around.
So this is a thing though, theoretically. So we have made some modifications to the Warlock class because the Warlock class is the most
pulling it up
disappointing
right now.
thing to ever grace. Like, it's not as badly made as, let's say, some of the Ranger stuff, but it is far more disappointing. And so, with a thing that is different is you could choose to cast False Life at a higher level, because originally the Warlock, you can only cast at level 1, and you can still only cast at level 1 without expending a spell slot, but you could also cast it at a higher level if you wanted
See,
to give yourself
I
more
always
temp
forget
HP.
that you guys have the like revised one. So
Mhm.
I always forget to look at that stuff and
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah. We have a
I just
lot
shared
of
it
got a lot of
directly
different
with you.
stuff.
well, I already have it. I just forget it's a thing.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, because it's like
Well, I can't fix that.
it doesn't like fully change Warlock by any way, but there are
No,
some
it
things
just-
that it definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a lot better.
I sure hope so, because
I like it a lot better. It makes
I
it so that
agree.
Warlock.
Road work ahead.
It makes
Yeah,
it so that Warlock
sure
is not a
hope it
sacrifice to
does.
play. It makes it so that you don't feel like you're giving up power for cool roleplay. You know?
That's funny considering this last episode.
Yeah, no. So after we almost die, and there's that combat thing, Trek goes and talks to the person who sent the hitman after him. After talking down the hitman, Gorzar, my best man at my wedding.
Only Tarak can befriend his assassin.
I mean, look, he's just doing his job. Like, there's no shame. Like, it's not like how could you? How dare you? That would be like, Tarak is not the type of person in a store where something goes wrong and it's clearly the store's fault, and then he immediately blames the nearest, like, person who's working there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Even if it is
Yeah.
definitely their fault. He's like, nah, that's
Well,
alright. Sometimes
honestly,
that happens.
I was surprised that he was willing to go back to Umlasha and
Oh, heck nah. Omlasha is a very vital point. Like Grumsh and Luthik are kind of the two heads of the tribe. Like, in
Yeah.
terms of like pecking order, technically Ilnaval ranks above her, but only in terms of like who gets to choose soldiers first.
Yeah.
Other than that, Luthik is like super important to the tribe. Like, without Luthik, they
it's
wouldn't
very
even be
much
able
that,
to
like,
be here.
Yeah. Like Ilnaval gets first pick of the soldiers, but Luthik is in charge of the very culture of the tribe.
Mhm.
Like
You're-
everything goes through her. The young, the culture.
I don't remember which one's to which.
Umlasha's Luthik.
Umlasha is Luthik, yeah.
And which one was... Never mind. Keep going.
So
No, we got. Give her the breakdown, Aaron. Go for it.
so Grumsh, the leader,
Uh-huh.
he's I can't remember his name, but the guy that I beat up 2 episodes ago,
Not Varakros.
right?
That guy,
Vark-
and
you know.
yeah.
That's what it is. Varkakorim.
Vart Garim, that's the one. He's
It's very important.
he's the leader of the tribe. He's the like head honcho, like Grumsh
Head
guy.
poncho.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And Poncho, as Grant would say.
Yes, head poncho.
That's what I just said.
Oh.
God, I hate Grant. And then we have like the Tanar of Luthik, who is Umlasha.
Uh-huh.
She's the one with the claws.
Mhm.
So they
Yep.
like raise the kids and do the
Mhm.
things and are
Yeah.
also like wicked
Got that one.
paladins, right?
Uh-huh.
And then
Yes.
we have we haven't met like all of the Tanar in a lot of ways. Like they've been mentioned.
You've seen all of them, but you haven't
But
interacted.
we haven't interacted with a lot, and I don't plan to. That's a whole lot of characters
Uh-huh.
and NPCs that I don't want to force DJ to roleplay constantly. So then we're just going to go to what is his name? Garash.
So yeah,
I
Gorzar
can't
is
keep
the
any
assassin
of this straight. I hope you know that.
The
That's
assassin.
okay. You don't have to.
one.
you don't have to know the Tanar, but if you just know the general 5 gods or 6 gods.
It's overrated.
Well,
You only need to know
But what I was
3.
saying was I was surprised that the assassin was willing to go back to Umlasha and like wasn't scared to do that.
Oh, that part.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Shargaz is the assassin god. So that is not very looked well upon in the Orcish groups, because like assassination is kind of dishonorable.
Might and everything.
Not to mention when their gods became gods in their religion.
Because that's what he was talking about when
Yeah.
he was like, "Will they be treated
Like the same way now?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shargaz basically just like ran away, and that's like, it's fine if you choose to not fight to begin with, but if you choose to fight, you finish it. And Shargaz did not do that, so they've basically shoved the children of Shargaz in like caves that like fill with water up to like the top like 6 feet of it. So they literally live, they're bat breeders, so they like sleep like in the arms of their bats on the ceiling because they hate the ocean and stuff like. So they were basically like put in like orc jail kind of, and just like, look, sorry, you're a child of Shargaz, things are gonna suck for you from now on. So he's also the one who gets either last or second to last pick. He's about tied with Yurtris, who is
and it's really interesting because so one of my favorite things about Shargaz and the children of Shargaz is the culling. It's so interesting to me how, I guess, hypocritical it can be, because like Umlasha is very much, or even just Luthik, but to like someone like Umlasha is definitely going to be the type of person that's like, you're a child of Shargaz, you're the scum of the earth, but I do need you to go do some things that I just can't be seen doing.
absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Like the orcs would have just gotten rid of them if they didn't think that there was a purpose.
Yeah.
But they're like, okay, we don't like what you do, but it's very important that we have someone who can do it. Because just because we don't like it, there's going to be a time where it's like, okay, we just need you to assassinate a general. This will make this a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a little hypocritical, but they're like, I mean, it's got to be done.
Yeah. Yeah. So with Gozar, it was very interesting because Gozar obviously is treated very, very poorly, even though he does very important things for the tribe. And so when Tarak was like, yo, like, we will, you know, we won't basically treat you for the sins of your father, basically.
He was like, what? This
that
seems
was
like a deal.
He was like, that's really good. That means that we're not sleeping in caves every night.
So, freaking, I already talked about it with Aaron, but I want to highlight it again. We're not at that part yet. It's a little further in. But when Tarak was talking to Umlasha and dropped the whole, like, orcs feel everything, like, 10 times more because of their short lifespan, so it doesn't make sense that they wouldn't feel love the same way. Oh!
Thank you.
That was golden.
It was good.
That happened
That
right
was good.
after. The next day, after we all almost, well, I almost died to an extent. I was still at like 53 health.
Man, I nearly got you twice this episode. Oh.
Yeah. But after that happened, Track went, talked to Umlasha to try to convince her. Very good persuasion rolls on that one. I think I hit impossible DC. I think I hit 30.
You hit like a 36 or something like that.
No, I don't think it was a 30. Let's not go too far. I'm pretty sure I rolled an 18 plus 12. Pretty sure. So I think it was 30. And that's a good roll. And
It's
so
really
she
good.
was like,
One of the best rolls
I'll
you can
come
have.
along, but just because I don't like you and I want to see you fail. And I'm like, good enough for me. And then we left the camp, and nothing bad happened.
Nope, everything was great, and it all went well, and it was
Everything-
great.
Imagine if I
Everyone's
had
super
killed
pumped to
Tarak
be
in the
there.
first half of the episode. You know how much more difficult it would have been in the second half of the episode?
It wouldn't have happened.
But anyway, so yeah, we made it to we made it almost to the mountains, and then there was a ghost dragon. Dang ghost dragons. Like, what are you
That
gonna
ghost
do,
dragon-
right? Turns out ghost dragons hurt and
A lot.
are hard to hurt,
Mm-hmm.
which is a bit of a problem in a lot of different ways.
Can we talk about the setup for that though? I thought I did a really good job of like
ghosty
setting
fog.
this. Yeah.
And where it's like, hey, you see everyone that you've seen dead. And I'm like, okay. He's like, it's Ghost Dragon. Yeah, and
Lydia, you look salty.
I'm a little salty.
Some events happened with the Ghost Dragon, mainly the near party wipe, like TPK.
That was not supposed to happen.
So
the 75% party wipe.
Like, what are you gonna do, right? But
if it makes you feel better, I was trying to choose the option that wouldn't do that.
So okay, so I'm gonna blow your mind, DJ. So I'm gonna mimic an action that you could take in the future. Let's say, okay, so you're looking through a book and you're like, oh man, oh that's a cool monster. I should use this one. You like look through its stat block and you're like, okay. Yeah, okay, I think that they can take this, but I think it'll be a challenge, and some of them might die or at least get very close to death. I think that'll be great. So you take that stat block, you work in it. Then later, this is you later, you pull up the stat block, and someone says, okay, I do this. And you look and you go, oh, I did not read that it was immune to that. You can just not have it be immune to that. Like, that's a thing you can do.
So like the things that I said 2 weeks ago when we were talking about ways to, adjust this combat to be balanced.
Yeah, you could like follow
the thing that I very much just said.
Yeah,
you're a dick.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like when Lydia's like, yeah, so I did like 75 necrotic damage, and you go. So I'll be honest, I didn't read that it was immune to necrotic damage.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Also, you have to keep in mind, that was like first round. Nothing had gone bad yet. Everything was about average. He'd done his breath attack.
You want to know what I did?
What did you do?
That was a 3rd level spell slot.
Yeah.
And you want to know
that
what
was
that
one of my
takes away?
revivifies.
See,
That's
that
a
was the mistake.
revivify
You
spell
used your
slot.
3rd level spell slots instead of saving them for revivify.
Because I usually only save one so that I can bring back Cather, and then Cather...
Now, see, I'm handicapping you, Lydia. You're too powerful, and so I'm making it so you can't use any of your 3rd level spell slots out of fear for the fact that I can kill everybody else.
DJ, I didn't play last session.
I tried. Okay, I tried.
You know what would have been
Don't
considered
believe you.
plain, allowing that necrotic damage through.
You played pockets. What do you want from me?
You kept me in the abyss for the first hour. And then Cather took Edward on a hike without me. And I had to go be with Tarek while he spoke Orcish. And I smiled at the orc lady who tried to kill him. And then Tarek talks to me about dating, which he doesn't get.
That was a great conversation, by the way. That was very entertaining.
I really enjoyed that conversation. Thank you, Aaron. Nobody else was helping me. And then Dragon comes, and I can't do my damage. Because 1, my pockets gets poofed. And then 2, my main source of damage is nothing. And then all my friends die, and I'm paralyzed.
But overall, net positive, everybody's still alive, and life is good.
Well, minus the major character developmental sacrifices that had to be occurred.
Oh yeah, we should talk about those. Lydia, I want you to tell the people what happened.
So we're fighting this dragon, and he's really mean and really strong.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills Tarek, Edward, and Cather. And the only reason Renai is still standing is because Tarek is a homie and did Warding Bond. And so Renai was still standing.
What can I say?
But she was paralyzed. And so then DJ was like, oh no, and made the dragon fly away. And then the rest of the Tanar went and killed it while I tried to unparalyze myself. I did, and I go to save Cather, but Cather's died many a time before, and every time you die, the price goes up. So I had to pay a really big price to bring Cather back. And I had to. because I need to bring Cather back so that I could bring Tarak and Edward back. And by me bring them back, I mean Cather bring them back. So I go in, and I don't have much, but I have one thing left that I can give away. You want to know what that is? Yes, you do. It was Lada. I gave up all memory of Lada, my mentor, my adopted mama, and my favorite NPC.
Okay, don't lie. The last part was a lie. We all know who your favorite NPC is.
The little
Scrot.
mushroom. Oh.
That means that now Lotta is your third favorite NPC, because I think that mushroom might rank above.
That mushroom.
Dude, that mushroom.
I would like to remind you of a spell, Lydia. It's called Mind Spike. Almost as good as Inflict Wounds. Just say.
I don't have that one.
I'm looking at your character sheet.
Do I have it prepared?
I don't know. I'm just looking at your character sheet.
I don't know, man.
I don't know
tried.
either.
I tried my best. So
You did great. You did an amazing job.
I did horrible.
I just don't want to take the blame for this.
So yeah, so Renaya ends up giving up all memory of Lada, and I hand over the last attachment to my backstory I have. And then
No, that just means that there's opportunities now for other parts of your backstory to really shine.
Good cover.
like what?
Well, I can't say it. You'd stab me if I said it.
Your
Like my fault?
husband.
And my hubby?
Your husbando.
The Uzbando.
So there's that. And then so Cather comes back. I did it. Yay. Cather comes back.
Slap Edward awake. He's
Cather
fine.
slaps Edward awake with a revivify. Then comes over, goes to Tarak. I first tried to. I do a really crappy job. I didn't think it would work, but I thought it would be worth a try. Maybe.
Blah,
Blah blah. But so then Cather goes, brings Tarak back, and sacrifices all memory of Melora. Melora's gone.
Which I'm just saying, I
Lada's
think that's
gone.
a pure benefit.
I think ultimately it actually is a bit of a benefit. I think it sucks,
I mean, it's not great.
but at least he's not the freaking guilt-ridden, sad Captain America.
Gosh.
She's been.
Oh, he's still guilt-ridden. But he's not Captain America.
I mean, so
Captain
here's the thing, right? So there's a lot of questions as to how exactly this, like, mind-wipey thing works, right?
Mhm.
So from what I have heard through conversation and inflection, is that, and this is where the questions start coming in.
Yeah.
So like, individual memories with that person don't occur.
No, not at all. They completely are forfeit.
Now, in group, like, memories with that person that happened to be in the group, it's more
Mhm.
like they're just like a fuzzy outline. Like, kind of like when you're,
Yeah.
like, you can remember back to a class that you had, and you're like, I know that there was a person who sat to my left, and they liked to wear pink sweaters. For the life of
Mhm.
me, I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
It's
it's also kind of like Phantasmal Force, where you can create justifications for why you don't know.
Yeah, so it's like it's just like a thing. So like, let's use Cather's memories of being jailed by Prosius,
Mm-hmm.
because those are pretty distinctly like him and Melora.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the conversations that they had in that prison, null and void.
Mm-hmm.
But does he still even remember that there was another person there?
So it's gonna see, and this is where it gets like really weird, because you, like, Renaya and Cather are both gonna know that something's kind of weird, because Cather, for the most part, is gonna remember being in the prison by himself up until he met Revoluthel.
Mm-hmm.
When they free Revoluthel, then he knows that there's Revoluthel and someone else was there, but he doesn't know who.
But it was probably, yeah, but like in his
It's
mind,
just
it would
some
be
random-
it was
like maybe
probably
some other
someone
random
who was in
person or
the
something
same
like that.
cell.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
escaped with them at the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
And so then he remembers, because we haven't really talked as a group about him and Melora. And same thing for, like, Renaya and Lotta. Like, we've probably talked more about Lotta than we have about Melora. just in terms of like conversations, because like that's I don't know. I feel like there have been more times when we were like, hey Renee, could you contact Lotta for us? We have a errand that we need to run.
Mhm.
And so like, let's say there's a super emotional conversation that has occurred and it happens to include Melora or Lotta. Does he still remember the emotions that happened there
No.
in those conversations? So he doesn't even remember the conversation about Melora, but does he remember having a conversation with the person about something? Or are those memories gone too?
So everything that Melora would have said or done is either gone or like muted. It's like you hear someone else talking in the background, but you can't make out what they're saying. But if he's like remembering, a conversation that all of you guys had, it's gonna be like everything that you guys said, he remembers clearly and he knows how he felt about that. Whatever Melora said, he doesn't understand what she said, so there's no reason for him to have any emotion aside.
So it's literally like just taking like white out and just covering with all the Melora parts.
Okay. Exactly. It's like Black Ops, the whole life of whoever this person is.
So you said that he still remembers all of the emotions, so he would still remember, because like he was pretty dead before the whole kidnapped by Prazius thing. Like his character was very muted personality wise. How much to an extent, and obviously you can't declare this because it's Drew's character choice, but like personality wise, how much actually changes? Is this like a timeline thing where the timeline corrects itself? Because like from what I've heard,
it's not a timeline thing where it corrects itself.
But
it's literally just taking a white out. So he still has gone through all of that emotional growth.
Yeah,
that he went.
That's what the question is. Is it's like
because he just doesn't really remember. Like why? And if he goes and he tries to remember back to like a group conversation, anything that they say is just confusing to him.
But like
when he comes in his memory, but emotional wise, what he feels and the adjustments that he's made also happen.
Yeah, but so like let's say the let's use Lotta.
Yeah, because that one I have lots of questions for.
Yes, because so the Melora one was just the easiest because he's a depressed, angsty child.
And also, you have to take in mind, there's also the Phantasmal Force aspect of it, where
you just
anything that can't be justified, he can create another excuse to justify it.
Yeah.
So it could be that maybe he creates another NPC in his mind that he got close to, and they were taken away.
Things.
Yeah. Or it could be that he felt that way about maybe like Blix, or maybe he felt that way about Renaya even, and then something's happened that has caused a shift, I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm just saying like whatever emotional growth that he's going to have, he also is going to create a reason to have that if he can't find it in like his natural memory.
Because my question is like what Spaff is asking. So like a lot of Renaya's one-on-one with Lotta was the big shift of Renaya going from cult Renaya to morally somewhat better Renaya. So
morally neutral.
Yeah. So how does that work?
So what do you mean?
Like
because
all the
anytime that you are with another person, you can get that moral shift from the other person. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
so like, the entire time that you were traveling with Lotta's group, it just wasn't Lotta that was giving you that advice or whatever. You now think that maybe it was Marv or someone else that was giving you.
So it like.
Yeah,
it gaslights you.
In a way, yeah, it's magic gaslighting.
Where it's like, cause like, so then if Renaya went to Marv and was like, "Oh, remember when you said this?" and he's like, "I didn't say that. Lotta said
100%.
that," and you're like,
you'd be like, "Who's Lotta?"
Lotta, it must be someone else. So from what I'm getting, so this is what I meant by the timeline correct itself. It's kind of like those things where like, if you like, imagine that if you were to travel to the past, and like, I don't know, like you killed someone who would eventually become mayor of a town and do all these specific things. The timeline would correct itself with someone else would still become mayor of the town, and those things would still occur. It just wouldn't be the person that you killed. So
yeah, for the most part.
you still remember. Yeah, Lydia's getting just ragged on right now. Thanks, Matt.
No, Steph, don't say that. I am not this cruel.
So, like, in your memories, you think back and you're like, who taught me? Like, I know these rituals.
Wait, so
Why
I'm
are they
confused.
here?
Because then this isn't the whiteout thing. This is a new fabrication kind of deal.
Yes,
No. Okay, no. It's both. It's not
I'm
that
picking up
every
what you
single
mean.
But
memory
which
that you
one?
have of
But
Lada
how do you know which one is which?
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. It's not that every single memory you have of Lada is replaced by another person. Anytime that Lada and you were by yourselves, so for after Lada retired and you went and moved in with her and everybody left, you have no memory of any time that you were with her during that time. Only by yourself.
But that's where my concern is because Renaya's teaching stuff was one-on-one with Lada because of the rest of the party hated Renaya.
Okay, well then there's some character adjustments you got to make then.
Oh God. Well,
You know, or
Well,
you
so
can,
here's-
or there's another way that you can justify it. Maybe you met someone traveling along the road in your head now. You know that.
so it's
it was a
whatever
traveling merchant.
I want. Hold on.
It's your character. I'm not going to tell you what you can and
So
cannot
this is
feel
what
about
I'm
your
thinking.
character.
Like, so if I were Lydia in this circumstance, and I had a whole bunch of those learning things, and were one-on-one with Lada, I would, like, if I were playing Renaya, I would have Renaya justify it as she stumbled across them while she was alone in this house. Like, once, like, Lada retired and you were living with her, you were living in that house, but you were just alone. And then you stumbled across these, like, this ritual or something, or way of meditating to calm yourself down or something along those lines. Like, it's just what is the easiest thing that your brain would go, well, I know how to do this, why would I know how to do this? Sure, I just remembered it. It doesn't have to be any direct change. So your characters, all the events that happened are the same to grant your character who they have been up until this point. You just don't remember exactly how those happened. So you still remember all of the things. You don't remember who or why caused them to occur.
Yeah. And to answer your question, Nlif, it's just Cather and Renaya. So Edward still has every single memory of Melora. He still knew that she existed. He still knew all of this happened. So it doesn't affect Edward at all. It's just Cather and Renaya. But does that make sense, Lydia?
From that
I know
phase,
it's confusing,
the answer is no.
And it's confusing and complicated because it's not real.
We'll
It's messing
talk
with
more.
people's memory.
We'll talk more later about this.
I don't really know what else to tell you.
I didn't sleep last night. My brain is on 2%.
That's fair.
Anyway,
I thought you were creative and perky right now.
I'm a frog, my guy.
Frogs are the most brilliant imaginers in the world.
Don't
right.
you know?
So yeah, it's
Bird,
complicated and messy, but basically when you go through it, you can think of it like this. Whatever memory you're wanting to think of, you can go, was I by myself? Was I with Lada, or was I with the group? If you're by yourself, then you still have the memory, obviously, and whatever happened. If it's just you and Lada, Lada doesn't exist in that situation. So then you have a choice. Either you didn't get what you got from her, whatever information or lesson that was, or someone else gave you that. Whatever memory, whatever you want to do. That's a you choice. Anytime that you were with a group and there was a lesson, it was someone else in that group that gave you the lesson.
Okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now I have another question.
It's like your combat breakdown. You just gotta like follow.
I need a cheat sheet. I need a dummy's guide to this. Okay, so then here's another question.
Okay.
So if like another party member brings up Lada,
okay.
Do I ever get to a point where I even can believe them that is the case? But I know I'm just not capable of remembering it.
I mean, that just depends on you. Like, here's the thing: you have to remember.
Or is it like I'm always like, no, that didn't happen?
Yeah, you are a person who has no memory of this person at all. Mm-hmm. And while you know that there are potential magical ways for stuff like this to happen, it would take an immense amount of power for someone as important as who they're claiming Lada to be completely wiped from your memory. Okay, and you also have all these memories of other people doing those things that justify this. So it just depends on how like trusting Renaya is. Is she gonna trust her friends that they're telling her the truth, Or does her mind and her body that is telling her one thing, is she going to listen to that instead of her
Oh.
friends?
And you know, Renee can always trust yourself.
You know, yeah. So
Well,
these
Renaya
are
has
all
never been
interesting,
lied
like,
to by another
character
person.
things.
So
no,
Yeah.
never.
Because like if someone mentions Lada, you have no clue. That name means nothing to you. You go, oh, that's someone from their past that they haven't talked about before.
Mhm.
And so then you're gonna have to go through the whole thing of them being like, no, like Lada is your person, and you're gonna be like, no, I've never heard of this person. You must be wrong. And then they go through and they explain who she is, and you're gonna be like, no, that doesn't make sense. And then they're gonna be like, yes, it does. And then you're gonna be like, no, it doesn't make sense. And then you're gonna have a character crisis.
Because I don't have enough of those.
Great.
So to sum up, nothing in the paper dungeon is hard to explain or understand.
No. I actually really like that it's super complicated. Because it is super complicated.
Yeah, it's messy.
Like,
it's gross.
yeah, I like that
it's divine intervention that is taking away a massive part of someone's life and then trying to justify it is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to always remember that there is in your mind some justification for why you know that thing or feel that way. So you always have something that you can go back on that says this is why you're wrong because I remember it this way. You know, you always are going to have that. Whether it's I was by myself and I figured this out myself, or if someone else that I knew or met taught me this thing.
What I'm hearing is Renaya gaslights herself.
Basically. Renaya is in denial about this amazing person in her life, you know? It's like if Cather broke and was sent to an insane asylum about Melora, and he just like broke and just didn't remember her. That's kind of what you can think of it like.
Nice.
Renaya is the new Joker.
Okay.
I'm excited to see this
Wow.
development.
Okay. Well, I got some interesting thoughts. Okay, but let's move. Let's.
I mean,
let's
that's
talk
pretty
about
much
a
it.
different element.
That was basically the whole episode. We're
We
good. That
did
took
it.
an
That's the
hour.
whole
We're
thing.
good. We took a break. We're
52
done.
minutes.
You know, plus a 10-minute intro. So really, we only talked for 40 minutes.
You know, the intro was live. It's fine. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's a.
It's complicated and messy.
Oh, so I should ask the normal questions that I ask, which are resulting from this episode, plans for the future. Do you have any? What are you thinking?
Well, now I have some things I gotta start piecing together.
What I love about this is I think that like you and I would treat this in such a different way.
Oh, 100%.
So like
And that's also part of my issue is that I can't tell you what your character.
Which is what I appreciate
does.
about it is that there is a
No.
choice depending
Yeah,
on
I
what
mean, it's
you
still
want to do with your character.
I'm never gonna just be like, no, this is what your character has to feel like or has to do now. So I can't just go in and be like, yeah, so you now feel this way about Marv, or Cather now was in love with Renaya and she rejected him and that's why he's all melancholy, or whatever. Like I can't do that. How funny would that be?
How I would do it if I was the one casting Revivify in this circumstance is I just wouldn't, like, I would like revive and be like, oh, thank goodness you're alive. Then I would just like go about my business until eventually, for some reason, the thing that I forgot came up.
Oh yeah, well, that's how I plan to
And
go
then
about it.
They would be
Yeah,
like,
because you guys don't know that you gave them up.
exactly.
Because you have no memory of
You
them.
don't
Like,
remember it.
but she remembers that she had to do Revivify, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also remember that you gave, Miss Margaret, or you can justify it with something else in your mind. You can say, oh, I gave up Diamond Crusher, which is this immense legendary artifact that I found, or blah, blah, blah. There's all the other these different things. You can say all these different things because there's some sort of justification in your mind where you go,
So
I
how
didn't
funny-
lose someone, I lost something else.
How funny would it be if there was a cost, but no one knew that there was? Because anytime that you paid the cost, you forgot what it was that you had to give up, so no one knew that they gave up anything.
Yeah.
Just imagine a world where it's like, oh no, you can revive people for free. Like the monetary cost increases, but like you're good for the 3 times, and everyone's like, it's not. No, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that is not the case.
And it's definitely more torture for the player than it is for the character.
Well, and like I was telling Aaron that like I can't bring back anybody anymore. Like, I don't
Mhm.
have anything to sacrifice anymore.
The only person you can bring back now is Edward.
But he needs a sacrifice too.
He needs like a mini sacrifice.
A mini sacrifice, but Renaya's not good at mini sacrifices.
You know, like Miss Margaret for the second life, for the second revivify would probably be okay. If it was like Tarak casting it. It can't be you, because that's not your personal thing that you're giving up. That's more emotionally attached to Tarak. So if Tarak wanted to revivify Aaron or Edward somehow, he could give up Miss Margaret because that's a very emotional thing for him. You know?
And Drew was even asking me about it at the end of Monday night session about like would Renaya give up like Gratz and Malice? Because I'm at the point where like the only things that I have that would be like the powerful ones are Gratz, Malice, and Ruat. Ruat's important for your plot stuff, and I don't want to derail. So that's out of there. And then both Malice and Gratz are like
fundamentals to your character.
Renaya.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up my character for your character who died. You made them die. You lost the game, buddy.
And this is where Renaya's anti-hero arc starts.
No. Tarak wouldn't want that. Anyway, like if Tarak dies again, Tarak's like, nah, bro, neither of you, just don't cast a spell. Like in Tarak's mind, he is out of, this is the last time that he's revived. Like, there's no more. Because, like, Tarak, it doesn't make sense in Tarak's mind. And Tarak would hate it if, like, Renaya had to give up something for Tarak, or Cather, like, gave up his, like, vacation spot in the afterlife. Like, that would suck for Tarak. Like, that would just not be a good time. So Tarak's probably in this next episode gonna be like, no, I don't want it. I'll refuse it if you try again.
Well, and that's another thing, is every soul has the right to reject being resurrected. Like, you know, Tarak can very much just, you can cast the spell, go through everything, and then he just goes, no, I'm not coming back. And you have nothing to, at that point, you cannot do anything.
So yeah, I don't think, like, unless Edward learns Revivify,
right?
I don't think Tarak's letting a resurrection thing happen.
That could be a good thing for you guys to maybe explore, like, going into this knowing that, like, Renaya can't really cast this anymore, and Cather maybe can do it. Like, it might be a good idea to try and see if you can get, like, a resurrection stone or something like that, or like a magic item for Edward to carry around, so that he can do this for you guys. Like, obviously not Tarak, but like Renaya or Cather, because the other two don't really have a whole lot left that they can give up. That could be a good, like, you know, character thing that you guys do.
I would like to state that some misinformation has occurred. It may be believed that I want Tarak to die. That is not the case. I don't want him to die. I think that dying makes sense, but I like Tarak. I like playing Tarak. Tarak is fun to play. I don't want him to die. I do like the story aspect of death, and I am interested as a player because I've never had a character die. But I'm not trying to die.
Yeah.
What I want is good play in-game in terms of, like, systematic ability usage and, like, combat and stuff, and also good role play. Those are my two goals. So if death accomplishes those two, I don't care if he dies forgotten, as long as it's a good story. And as long as people are sad.
Yes, we're not. Cute one in the back.
I forgot.
Hey, you've got your time.
It was another. So I remember. Okay, so it was when we go to the do it, like give the sacrifice thing. We see the soul there. So is Cather aware of what Renaya did?
Like that you gave up Lada?
Yeah. Or does he not remember? Like.
Well, Cather doesn't remember that you gave up Lada, but as soon as you go, I don't know who Lada is, he's gonna know that's what you gave up.
Well, yeah, I just didn't know if he remembered it.
Yeah, like, no, Cather doesn't remember anything.
Okay.
Cather doesn't remember anything from the courtrooms.
Okay.
The classic DJ knees.
It's Nijay.
You know,
Ugh.
I just like being comfy.
So, I mean, I don't understand why that's comfy, but that's just a me thing. Like, that seems horribly uncomfortable.
Maybe you just have bad joints.
I mean, that is completely accurate, but I'm actually, like, surprisingly flexible. It's just,
Yeah.
that's just not fun for me to sit like that.
Well, I think first of all, I don't have an amazing chair, so it doesn't really support me all that well.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't have like all that great a posture, if I'm being honest. So this just helps. Like, it's just good to switch it up every once in a while because I
Yeah.
get stiff.
That's
You know.
so interesting thing. So you know how, like, we're always taught that, like, sitting, like, straight 90 degree is, like, good for
Mhm.
you? That actually isn't the case. Studies have shown that if you only do that, it's bad. So what's best is that you have that chair that gives you the option of that support, but you do, like, shift up how you sit. What's important is that you don't sit in the same way for an extended period of time.
Yeah. I get uncomfortable fairly easily. It's really bad because if you look at my watch, it will always be like, "Hey, you got 8 hours of sleep or 9 hours of sleep, but it was really restless because you move every 2 minutes."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's a good question. Have you tried just doing better? It's an excellent question that has been
Got
asked
him.
today. It's a good one.
You know, I've been feeling fairly okay the last couple of weeks. My friends have been really nice to me. They've been encouraging.
That's because you haven't.
Like this, and
been
then I got on
here
this
for the
table
last
scraps.
couple weeks.
These table scraps. Everybody is just out here for blood.
Yeah, whatever, loser.
I'm the frog from the desert.
So I do have a good question, DJ.
Yeah.
We have accomplished a major feat. After this next episode, do we level up?
Please.
Maybe.
That's a yes.
Because I'm just saying.
I don't know. I mentioned a while ago that probably
get
when
out.
you guys get the orcs out of the waste, that probably when you level up. So
Yeah, all right.
you know, if that happens at the end of next episode, you know, you still have to go through. You still have freaking the third Hobbit to go through.
Yeah. You know, the third one, Pippin.
No, like the movie.
Ugh.
Although that's very interesting to me that you think Pippin is the third, because when I think of it, it goes obviously Frodo, Sam, but then you always refer to them as Merry and Pippin. So obviously Merry is third and Pippin is fourth. You plebeian.
Only if you're actually considering Sam, because Sam can't die.
I don't know what this means.
Sam is the greatest of all time. That's fair. I see what you're saying. As the GOAT, maybe we don't include Sam.
No,
Because
Sam's
he's
a
really
hero.
not like a hobbit. He's kind of just like the
We're
best.
talking about the Lord of the Rings, Lydia.
Yeah, I know that.
We need to watch
Have
the
you not
Lord of
seen
the
Lord
Rings.
of the Rings?
I don't want to. It's
See,
long.
that's-
I don't know the attention span.
What?
I
That is
mean,
not
that's
true.
acceptable.
That is very true.
That is not true.
That is
So
very true.
I tend to find
You can focus on a piece of art for 8 hours.
Yeah, because I'm doing things.
You're paying attention to the story.
So
I'm paying attention to my hand moving.
You can play Dungeons and Dragons for 4 hours
Because
you're
I'm
paying
doing
attention to the
stuff.
story. No, you weren't. You didn't do anything last episode.
Yeah, and I was struggling, my guy.
so here's the thing. I tend to find that you don't actually need to pay attention to movies. I think that
Only
you
sometimes,
just
yeah.
sit there and you slowly absorb information as you stare off into nothing and look at your phone. That's
think of
how I
yourself
watch movies.
as a LaCroix, and the Lord of the Rings is the fruit that you're trying to embody the flavor of. You know, you're
Exactly.
just absorbing through the air.
Here's
What?
my stance on LaCroix is that LaCroix is sparkling water that someone thought of the flavor of a fruit relatively close to the can.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok the other day that was some guy in a garage making LaCroix, and he had like a bag of blueberries, and he put like a glass of water like right here, and then he had the blueberries, and like opened the bag, and then like mixed up the water. It was so funny.
Exactly. That's what LaCroix tastes like. Someone thought of a flavor kind of nearby.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like how high C tastes like how someone thinks an orange would taste.
I drink high C fruit punch.
I love high C. Like, I
I
love
love Hi-C
any form
fruit
of high
punch.
C. The fruit punch, the orange, Grant hates me for it. I will get orange high C. And let me tell you, McDonald's orange high C hits different.
Mm.
I've never had the orange high C.
I've
I
never
just
had
the fruit
Hi-C.
punch.
Let me tell you, I don't think it's good. Like,
But it's different.
on the grand scheme of things, it's probably not that good of a drink. It's not good for you. It leaves like a weird chalky aftertaste. But I love things that are bad, and so I love orange high C.
Aaron does love things that are bad.
And so that you could just add that to the counter of, why does Aaron like this thing? It's terrible. You're right.
You're right.
I won't deny it. You're absolutely correct.
Trend.
But if High C wanted to sponsor us, I wouldn't turn it down.
I think we gotta like pick one.
Yeah, I've
We're
been.
gonna pick one and commit, and then we'll get it. I think.
No, you need to cast a wide net.
I don't know. I think if you
Different
focus all your
yeah.
energy directly on one, it'll come around.
That's called stalking.
It's called manifestation, Aaron.
Yeah. Let me just manifest a
anyway,
gushing High C into my hands.
Back to the D&Ds.
Ugh.
With your
I
question,
hate
Lydia.
that game.
Huh?
I said, hit me with your question. Or
I
comment.
don't have a question.
Well, what are we going to talk about?
Well, I was gonna ask. Well, actually, I do have a question. DJ,
Mhm.
could I share about new weapon?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
go
it's table scraps. You can.
Yeah, table scraps exclusive. So, context. Renaya gave up
Extra,
Lada,
extra.
and then when she gave up Lada, that also means she lost everything that Lada like gave her, which includes Diamond Crusher. So I lost Diamond Crusher, and DJ was saying like, well, now we gotta get you a new weapon, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, we don't. I got one. And he was like, oh, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and I already thought of cool stuff it can do so that it's not lame and not effective. And he approved it, and it's pretty cool, and you're gonna see it soon. What? You wanted
You've
me to
done
share
this
more?
twice now. Last night, Lydia and I were talking about some campaign 2 stuff. She's
Where
like,
I'm like, I
I
wanted
want
to
to tell you this thing so
I
bad.
wanted to tell you really bad, but I don't know how much to tell.
And then I was like, you can tell me. And she was like, no, I can't tell you. And I was like, you can tell me. And she's like, no, I can't tell you. And I was like, okay, don't tell me. Then I sat there for 2 minutes and she's like, okay, I'm going to tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna
And
tell
then she told me nothing.
And then
She
I
said the
told
most
you
vague thing
right.
ever that I already knew. And I'm like, whatever. Okay, that means nothing. And then she just did it again. Where she's
I'm
like,
s-
hey, I got a new weapon.
should I share? I never know how much I'm supposed to share or not.
Everything that you're
I
about
don't
to
have-
say is
I don't have
gonna
a
be revealed
gauge.
So
in the
give
next
me-
episode.
So what are you, like? Give me a genre of what you are unsure.
Okay,
if you
well,
can say.
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's probably fine if I do it because I don't think it's ever gonna actually like really come up.
I mean, you don't really
Conversation-wise.
use. Yeah, I mean, and either way, like you don't really like you didn't really use Diamond Crusher all that much anyway. So
No, this is more. It's like, so how I set it up is it's Renaya's dagger, the dagger she got way back with Lada. Blah 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 blah. Well, she didn't get it from Lada, but Lada she had it from the cult, and then Lada kept it, and then Renaya got it from Lada, who kept
the
it,
second time around.
and now she's had it and had a hold of it for a long while.
she has a cold dagger that does fancy things.
I have a fancy cult dagger. But the thing with it was Renaya doesn't use blades. Renaya's never done that in this campaign. She's like, she armed herself with a dagger once, and that was with Melancina. But she never actually used it. But yeah, can I give the like lore behind that? Because I don't think that's ever gonna actually come up.
Well, I mean,
Your
we've
peace
already
Is that-
covered. I've already brought it up that it's the one that your husband stabbed you with.
Yeah, there's that one, but I meant more the like Renaya never using blades.
Say what you're gonna say, girl.
Ooh,
So,
what you say?
Renaya and her cult, her weapons that she was trained with blades. She was trained with swords and daggers. That was her main weapon. And then she went and Lada found her, and Lada taught her, hey, yo, that stuff's really bad. Don't do that. And so Renaya stopped using swords and daggers altogether because it was too reminiscent of those kinds of memories. But now she doesn't have Lada telling her not to do that anymore. So now I have a really cool dagger, and it does really cool stuff, and it's actually gonna let me like be somewhat effective in combat when I'm not.
So specifically, because we were talking about this dagger previously on a Zoom call.
Mhm.
I was trying to figure out if we were to get a technical term for what type of dagger this is, because dagger covers a broad range.
Yeah, and for her stat thing for it, it's technically like a short sword.
Mm-hmm.
Long boy. It's like that long.
It's a long dagger.
And
with
so, how
long
we
dagger.
defined it was it would be the general size, purpose, and shape of a dirk, which is roughly 12 inches long.
Mhm.
But with the blade of a Chris dagger, which is I can't remember. I want to say it's like
It's
But the wavy one?
It's the wavy one.
yeah, is it like Indian? But I'm trying to remember.
No. It was we
or
looked
like-
it up because it.
Like like African. Like I can't remember.
I thought was it. I want to. I don't remember.
To Google.
Do the Googles. But yeah,
it's
it's like a
Indonesian.
fancy.
That's what it is.
That's what I thought it was. Okay.
I'm like it's somewhere that is not here.
But yeah,
That's a broad range
I-
of places.
I drew it. I drew her dagger. I'm gonna pull it up and show it really horribly through my phone, through my webcam.
You could throw it in Discord too if you wanted.
I could do that. I'm gonna show it here first, and then I'll throw it in Discord after this because I don't have the
Like just the
Profile.
image.
yeah.
Because
But
it's right now
here's-
it's the image with like the cool stuff that it does.
Yeah, it has all the stat stuff for it. Okay. This might be too bright. Hold on. Bunk, bunk,
So in the meantime,
bunk, bunk.
yeah.
That's her dagger.
So if you look
Yeah.
at the hilt and pommel, very much,
Maybe.
and even the like I can't remember
I'll
what
send
it's
it in
called, the like
Discord.
thing that covers the hand.
Not the handle, but the like in between handle and the blade.
The yeah, I mean like the guard. It might be just what it's called. Very much Dirk-esque, but the blade itself, much closer to a Chris dagger, because it isn't quite wavy enough to be considered a flamberge.
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 Which means like flame blade, which is awesome, and are also things that exist and are more traditionally seen in like larger swords, like claymores and things and stuff like that.
I'm so excited.
I like swords. I think those
I
are cool.
like swords.
Like there are so many cool swords that exist. It's actually more traditionally like a rapier, but it has been seen in like other things. I'm still talking about flamberge. But it's not. See, it might be no, because the hilt is like the thing. The cross guard. That's what we're talking about. It has like a upturned cross guard that could be used to like catch and parry like weapons and stuff, because that's a thing that they did. And also, good on you,
Yeah.
Lydia, for not making it curve downwards, because if swords did that, you wouldn't be able to use your full like movement with them.
Poking your wrists all the time. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. and that would
Actually,
not be
we
good.
don't want that.
No, you want it to go forward.
I very much love the like Grotz vibes that it has. It reminds me of Grotz's sword, which is pretty rad.
Indeed.
We love our demon vibes.
I just kind of want to talk about swords. So the thing about swords, right? People don't understand how many swords exist.
There's lots.
Like how many different and like the different purposes and intentions and like how they were used in combat. Like when people think of swords, like in common and even in common media, what you see is like European and Japanese in the form of like katanas and stuff.
Mhm.
Those are like the swords that you see, but people don't even realize that like and this is the thing that blew my mind, is that for the longest time I did not realize like Avatar: The Last Airbender had so much Chinese influence.
Mhm.
And so like the swords that Zuko uses are actually Dao, which are awesome. Like the DAO, there's such a broad variety of Dao, and like how they're used and how they look. It's so cool. And there's so many cool swords out there. Every culture had swords, and all of them are different.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. And there's like a sword, I can't remember. So like punch blades.
Yeah.
Like, really, those don't exist except in like one culture, where they would take. I think it's actually the same place that Chris daggers are. I'm pretty sure it's Indonesian.
I did put the photo in Discord.
Sick.
Nice.
But they would take like broken pieces of swords, like if a sword broke, and then like turn it into I think it's a katar, which is like Katar, and then they would basically be brass knuckle punch blades.
What's that Faye doing?
Exactly.
There.
I thought that the same. Zweihander is a good answer. Cool sword. But yeah, and it's like, and people don't understand like the uses of swords. Like the Zweihander was mainly like, we want a sword that can beat a spear in a fight.
Yeah, we want a sword that will
It's
that
good
has the
against
reach, but can still
spears.
cleave you in half.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
good about spears and horses.
Uh-huh.
But it like against things that aren't long, like shorter swords, not
Oh, you
always
would
the
die.
best. Because like, yeah, exactly. But then you gotta remember, there's other ways to use swords. You can like half sword and like grab, because people wore gauntlets. You would grab farther up on the blade.
Mm-hmm.
And there were ones where you would turn it around and just hit people, like what Tarak did against the guy.
Yeah.
That's a thing that people did. There is even a manuscript that demonstrates the technical fighting aspect of unscrewing the pommel and throwing it at your enemy. So I don't know if I could say I have a favorite sword, but it would probably be some kind of Chinese straight sword, like not a Dao, but just like a. I don't know. I'm so bad at specific names, but like a Chinese straight, like short sword, probably what I'm there. Falchion is also a good answer. But yeah, swords are so cool. They could do so many things.
They're Claymore because patriotism. A good answer.
Yeah, and even like the idea that like swords still like have use in combat to an extent as well. Like, oh man, swords, super cool. Gotta love swords.
I mean, it wasn't until like 80 years ago that swords were really kind of taken out of militia and everything like that. Because even in like World War II, they were still using them.
Well, I mean, like, so I'm just saying, like, several like U.S. like military groups still practice with bayonets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like if you think about it, like, sure, there's a lot less like direct person-to-person contact, but that's still gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so like there was a story that I heard of someone who killed an enemy with an MRE spoon, like the military ration things.
Yeah.
And it's like, it would be much better if you just like had a weapon in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
swords are so cool.
This is kind of off topic, but man, I realized that I've never actually said your name out loud. I'm gonna call you Hal, Miss Hal. Remind me, is Zweihander Scottish or is it not? And I'm assuming that you know, because you just said that you were Scottish and Claymores and stuff like that. I think it's Scottish, but I feel like I'm wrong.
Judging by the name, it would be German, wouldn't it be? Zweihander?
It could be German.
It has an umlaut, dude.
But I remember it being...
Yeah. Germanic.
I just remembered it being Scottish,
term.
but I know that I'm usually wrong.
You've probably thinking of the Claymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's right there, the Scottish Claymore. But yeah.
Similar, but very different.
Yes.
But yeah, gosh dang, swords.
Lydia, what's your favorite sword?
Do you have a favorite sword?
I like those, like the ones that you hit and then they make the squeaky sound.
Oh, so like the boppers.
The plastic.
Yeah.
Squeaky.
Isn't that a hammer?
So back in Indiana.
Lightsaber?
Back in Indiana, there was the Headless Horseman ride. At Halloween time, and I was terrified of it. And my sister and I, to like help us not be scared, we just imagined the Headless Horseman had a like squeaky sword. So anytime he'd go to hit you and like try to chop off your head, it would just go squeaky, and you'd be fine.
Talking about like the blow up swords that you get at like a carnival.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair choice. Probably based on like the European longsword. That would be my guess. Also, so this is another thing people don't understand. Swords are not good against metal. Like
No,
plate mail.
just, like bounce off.
Yeah, it's like
And
there
it
is
hurts.
no
It
such
hurts,
thing
but,
as a
like-
sword that's good against armor.
Yeah.
There are techniques to like target where the armor isn't, like under like the armpit and things like that, and like joints and stuff. But like those are not as easy as you see in the movies to do. Most of the time it won't
See,
work.
that's why the crossbow was invented, was to like pierce through armor.
That and just like hammers and
Yeah.
like things that are heavy at the end is
fair.
good against. So the goal
Taste
of a
ball.
hammer is just to
Somebody.
mush up the person inside of the armor and like stop them from moving, or like bend the
Tenderize
armor
them,
so
man,
that they
you know?
can't move. Like
Mhm.
armor very effective. Just hit them really hard with a big stick.
Anytime that we think of like warhammers, I always think of
If the guy from
Yeah.
Aragon,
yeah, his brother.
yeah, the coolest character.
What's his name? Ron? No, it's not Ron.
It's something like that.
It's something really simple.
Yeah, Lydia's out of
Wow.
it
The
again.
man just wants his wife, and then he goes home.
yeah,
The man rises to become the leader of a rebellion army to get his wife, and then like halfway through the last book, he gets her back, and he just leaves. It's awesome.
what a good guy.
It's amazing.
So basically there's a guy, he's the brother of the main protagonist, and he just uses two normal hammers. That's his weapon
Yeah.
of choice.
And
it's
they're
just
not
two
even war hammers. They're hammers he got from his shop after it burned down.
Yeah, it's just like, ooh, hammers. It's like, it's not even like sledgehammers. It's just
No,
like,
it's like
hammers.
it's like a 1 pound hammer, you know?
Because like that's just what Ronin. That's Rorin.
Ronin!
Rorin.
Roaring.
That's
Oh,
yeah,
Rorin.
that's the one. Yeah, it's Ronin.
Marshall, you're awesome.
Yeah, and like warhammers were like, we're gonna have a really long, like haft, and then like it's gonna be like that big, of a head.
Lots of reach.
Because like you
Big
want
swing.
reach and you want the like momentum, but
Mhm.
like any heavier is really hard to swing. Like things, turns out people aren't that strong.
Whatever you see
people
with
aren't
Thor,
that strong.
Thor isn't real, you know? You lose power on the swing.
Exactly. And so
That
like
makes
that's why people you wouldn't want a sledgehammer because it takes forever. And so by the time you'd actually swing it, someone would just stab you. But like two little hammers, you can just go crazy. It's just whoa, whoa, just start swinging.
Play your bones like a xylophone.
Exactly.
Is that?
But yeah,
That's
so
funny.
thank you for coming to our Aaron likes medieval weaponry segment. And this is
It's the one
I'm
thing
gonna
that he
end
likes
it.
that isn't bad.
It's a lot. I mean, to be fair, there's a reason it was rotated out. It's not exactly the meta anymore, so I would consider that it was bad.
Well, it was amazing for its time.
Yes.
It's just no longer amazing.
This is my advice. It's the thing that I'm going to leave us off with. Look at other cultures and their weapons, because you can get so many cool Dungeons and Dragons ideas from them. Because other weapons have different cool things you can do with them, and they look cool, and you can theme characters after it. Like, that's awesome. Like I don't know. I just think this is a thing that you could do, and I think that you should show us in the Discord when you discover your favorite weapon from another culture. Wow, that was really in sync, guys. Use that as the gosh dang
Make that a
thumbnail.
TikTok.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh, more work.
I was so excited when I saw that you had posted a Table Scraps TikTok.
Well, because we had a full week of nothing.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so now I feel worse because it's like, I mean, I had to.
Well, it's not. No, I would
Lydia,
100%
we're just
clip
roasting.
stuff from Table Talks. The problem is, like with Table Talks, I don't have like a chronological way to go through it
Yeah,
to find
that's
the
fair.
moments, and so that means I'd have to like. It's a lot more sifting
Yeah.
through to
Just wanna
do.
be Demon
Fine.
Princess.
Also,
Be a demon
Lydia,
princess.
I personally, I would like to see more sad TikToks. They're also funny, and I want to see ones that are upsetting, and I don't even care if they perform
you know,
badly.
but people really like the funny ones, and
I know.
that's. And we're really funny.
I'm just saying for me,
We are
we
I
don't-
want sadness. I don't care if you follow my advice, because it's not advice. It's just a preference. I like sad things.
He's saying his unsolicited opinion, and you do not have to listen.
You don't have to listen to it, but I just want you to know.
I can do sad, but it's gotta be like really good, rich sad that like will catch attention within like 2 seconds.
Fine, I get it. We're just not good enough for you. It's whatever. It's fine. You don't have to do it.
No, it's because our generation is addicted to dopamine.
No, it's because Aaron, like, Tarak died, and then you literally had him go, "Oh, I'm good. Let's keep going," and that was it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what Tarak would do. This isn't even his first rodeo.
You have to help provide with the sad.
Well, I mean, Tarak getting resurrected from unconsciousness isn't sad, though. Now, when Tarak dies, it'll be sad.
I mean, Tarak did die.
No. Tarak
Like,
took a
realsies.
brief vacation from life. It was like a sabbatical.
He logged off the material plane for a second.
He
Exactly.
logged off the material plane.
He just, he pressed Control-Alt-Delete and pressed restart. Like, that's good for the soul. Just take a quick breather, get some time to recuperate.
Well, you weren't breathing. That was the problem.
Yeah, the soul was. And then you
Although
started
my body
back up.
stopped
I don't see that as
my
that
soul
sad.
is finally free.
I just, it's not that sad though. Like, someone dying, that's like a happy thing. If like someone dies and then they're resurrected, it's like, oh good, they're not dead. Now if they die for real, that's sad.
How,
That's a sad.
to answer your question, Aaron is the only one that's in school.
Now the rest of
he's
y'all
about to
could
graduate.
be,
The rest of us all could be,
except for
but
Drew.
have
He
chosen
already
not to.
graduated.
This
But
is peace science that they
Oh
didn't
wait,
show.
oh yeah, except for Drew. Drew got an associate's degree, and that's all he needed for his career. So not that that's bad. Associate's degree.
yeah,
are awesome.
I'm the oldest in the group. I'm older than DJ by a day.
8 hours.
Like that's basic. Every year, late at night on my birthday, I send DJ a message that says I'm a year older than him.
It's true.
I've done it for like
he
the
has
past
been doing
5
it
years.
consistently. Yeah,
And
it's
then
pretty rad.
I'm the youngest.
Yep,
Guess how old Lydia is?
Guess.
12.
Uh,
I'm 22.
I'm gonna wait. I
Gotcha.
mean,
So-
it's on my social stuff,
Yeah.
so it's not hard. It's not hard. But I want to see if
There
anybody
you go.
Like,
knows.
If you want to go through the
I'm at the 20.
I'm
Good job.
so proud.
we usually think that Lydia is like 18.
I'll be honest. So the first time that we met Lydia, I was like, there's no way that she's like out of high school. Like that's just no.
I was 18, almost 19 when you guys.
Yeah, and I was like,
That-
no. But you see, you. It
And
was
I
also one
had
of
graduated a
those
year
things.
early, so I was already a year out of high school.
Yeah, and so this is the thing, right? You know those people where you look at and you're like, you look really young, but judging by the way that you act, you could be anywhere between the ages of like 12 to like 29. Like there is no.
You flip a coin. Sometimes you're really childish, but sometimes you're really
And it's
mature.
like, I like, so I'm like, I'm not gonna assume that you're like 16, but I'm gonna keep it in mind as a potential problem for like, I don't know if that's an okay thing to for like Twitch policy and stuff like that. Because isn't there like especially if we are like a like adult stream, give or take. I don't know if we qualify as that because we really don't swear that much. Or,
I mean, the whole
except for that
Grotz
one
thing
YouTube
would probably
video.
be highly inappropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like
Not probably.
I
It
was
would
like,
be.
but then you were like, oh yeah, I'm 19, and I'm like, that's within the age range that I expected you to be in. Sure, it was a very broad range. Like if you just hit, you're somewhere between the ages of 2 and 90.
See, anytime I
Can't
think
be
of
wrong.
Lydia, I just think of the TikTok sound that's like, I'm just a baby. And that's everything I think of.
Oh boo, full grown adult
I'm
right
just
there.
a baby. You got the second half.
But yeah. So now you know. I'm ancient. I'm 22. Feels like 65.
Aaron's body, soul, and mind is 65.
Yeah. I'm ready to die. I'm ready to
And-
go.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Grant's birthday tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I bet it is. It
Is
said
it really?
6 days, like 6 days ago.
I'm pretty sure it was on Friday this week.
It is on Friday this week, yes. He will be streaming sometime. You should go hang out in a stream, maybe.
Add it to my phone.
So yeah, go check out Grant.
Wish Grant a happy birthday. He has
Wish
a
him a happy
PO box
birthday.
if you want to send him something.
Wish him a happy birthday.
He's very excited about his PO
tune
box.
into his stream. Support our head poncho.
Yes. God, I hate it.
Please, someone send him a poncho. Please, someone send him a poncho. Maybe I'll send him a poncho.
But I want him to have a poncho that just has a bunch of his heads on it.
Maybe
Or a poncho that
It's
only
a head
goes
poncho.
on his head. Like just a poncho
don't-
that sits like this.
Don't ponchos.
feeling the death creeping.
Ponchos
closer.
specifically sit everywhere but the head.
I'm thinking of like a rain poncho.
Oh, you're thinking of a range. No, I'm thinking of like a traditional poncho that just sits like around the neck,
Yeah,
like old
yes.
Western poncho.
Got you.
So just do that, make it smaller, so it just sits on his head and covers down to his chin. A head poncho.
A head poncho.
Yes.
But I want it to be big enough that he can wear his corn costume, so the poncho covers his little poofs.
I don't know
Not
what it
the
is about that
poofs.
costume.
The poofs have to be protected.
They're
We wear
like
ponchos in the rain.
the poofs.
You gotta show off the poofs.
The poofs remind me of like I said it when
If
he
you got
ran
them,
it,
flaunt them, right?
but like the little like Prince Boy, like little Prince Boy
Just a
poofs,
little-
where it's
little
like the
Prince
little
Boy.
like the shirt that's like.
He's just a handsome boy.
And it's like, yes,
I love that
it appears as though I have shoulder guards, but in reality, it's just fabric filled with air. And I don't know, something about it just kills me every time I see it. Where he's
It was
just
so
like,
funny.
I am sitting here, and then his arms look so tiny because it's like little tiny, like skin tight arm, and then like
And he's sitting there with that stupid look on his face where he's just like,
oh my goodness.
I'm just content and happy to sit here in my own comedy, you know? Grant has that face a lot.
Ugh, that kid.
There is one thing. I respect Grant for a lot of different reasons. He's extremely hardworking. He's extremely intelligent. He's one of my best friends on the
We all
planet.
love Grant.
Grant is amazing. But his comedy is so dumb. But he's so confident in it, and he enjoys it so much that he doesn't need our
His comedy
our
is my
respect.
favorite comedy.
Oh,
No,
it's,
he's stupid.
it's
It's my
that's a type of
absolute
comedy.
favorite. Well,
It's-
and I went to see my grandma today. And we were talking about just how silly Grant is because I was showing her the TikToks,
Yeah,
I forgot what I was gonna say.
something about your grandma and Grant.
Yeah,
Comedy.
Comedy.
Grant's comedy.
Really
Grant's
good,
dumb.
really bad.
You love Grant's comedy.
Oh, we were
Your
talking about just how it's so chaotic when me and him feed off of each other's humor.
You guys are fucking
So
in another world.
Grant.
I'll be like
Well,
sitting here
and the
having
thing
an
is,
intense
like,
conversation with Aaron,
thing is, like-
and then you guys are off me like,
We'll catch each other doing like little things, and then we make eye contact through Zoom, and then we just lose it, and it's one of
Right.
my favorite things.
that is something. I don't know if this is something that happens in the work environment, because from what I've heard from people that like work over Zoom and stuff like that, a lot of times they have the camera off, or there's like 30 of you guys or anything like that. But if you guys hang out on Zoom often enough in small groups like we do, you very much can tell when someone is looking directly at you.
Oh, you can sense it.
You can sense it, because like Lydia and I make eye contact all the time, and obviously Grant and Lydia make eye contact all the time, and stuff like that. So you can sense when someone's like looking directly at you, and you're like, and then they're like, and you're like, it's pretty great.
But the thing is, right? It's really hard to tell when someone is looking at someone else. So like we won't notice it at all.
Yeah. No, if you don't get the vibe that you're being
Well,
stared at,
and
you
that's
don't
my
notice when
favorite
someone
thing
else is staring at
is
you.
because there have been so many moments where me and Grant are doing something, and you just hear Drew just keep going.
Drew's
like
ability
he's
to
adding his
function
damage. He's not paying any
behind
attention.
The rest
And meanwhile,
of the comedy.
there's me and Grant literally just being frogs. He's left the screen and is peeking in. I have a book over my face and I'm sticking my tongue out, and you just hear him still talking.
Aaron, did you notice when they were doing that?
No, I had no idea.
I didn't
was
notice it
not paying
either.
attention.
None of us noticed.
I was too busy trying to stall for the silence that was Drew counting. We need to get that boy a calculator.
We should get him a
Like, good.
calculator.
Okay, I'm like, all right. We have the same dice. Me and Drew do. We roll the same dice over here. I'm bad at addition. I once added 25 and 25 on paper and got 60. I was concerned to run a register because I didn't know if I could add 2 quarters together. And I complete the math for this game faster than Drew does.
Okay,
it's amazing.
So I have a job as a cashier, and I freak myself out with coins all the time because my brain used to do this thing where it skips the number 4. For some reason, my brain just forgets that 4 is a number.
No, I can understand.
And so I have to really focus to remember 4. So I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Totally skip 14.
I'm just a baby.
I'm just a baby. I don't know what it is about 4.
Is
But I
that why you
always
hate me so much?
forget it.
Because I'm the 4th, so you
I
just
always-
forget me all the time?
I always forget it. What? What are you the 4th? with?
I'm Dallas Adrian McKellips the 4th.
That explains it.
That's why you hate me.
Yep.
That's got to be the reason.
If only
Figured
she
it out.
could forget
Ladies and
you.
gentlemen, I'll take my leave.
Piano.
I thought your name was DJ.
So,
Your name is
what
DJ.
really assists me, and it's something that I can't actually do to help myself very often unless I'm sitting in the privacy of my own home. If you have ever listened to me do mental math and say it out loud, it is wild to listen to. Because I just say specific numbers that I need to remember in their visual place in my mind. So, like, I'll be adding up, like, 4-digit numbers or, like, multiplying things, and you'll just hear me be like, let's see, let's use number of days in a year's and then, like, some random 2-digit number. It'll be, like...
365 plus 48.
365 plus 48. God, you're hitting me with the worst. So that's 3, 1, 6, 7, 4,
Like
7,
413 or
10, 11, carry the 1, 4, 1, 3, 413. And so you just hear me say a bunch of numbers, and then, but in my mind, I keep 365, and then the numbers that I'm adding, and then the numbers that I say are the numbers that do this. They like crisscross.
Although it
In
should
my
be
brain,
516, actually.
my brain with math, I can only do very basic addition. But it's like my brain will like take the numbers, but the numbers are dots in my brain, and then I take sections of the dots and move them in my brain.
I think it's weird because I think that's how it's actually taught a lot.
Well, nowadays it is. It drives my grandma nuts because they'll be like, okay, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna write out a dash for every 10 and a dot for every like 1.
See,
And
I
then you
didn't
have to,
learn
like,
it. Because
add
my
those
brain,
things up.
it's more like dominoes in my brain.
Yeah.
That's what my brain does with it.
I just look for easy whole numbers. So like 365 plus 48. I know that 6 plus 4 is 10, which means it's 100 in this situation. So I know it's gonna be 400 plus whatever the 8 and the 5 is, which is always 13, obviously. So.
Yeah, because like 8 and 5, my brain goes 8 and 5. 8 needs 2 to become 10. Take the 2 off, put the 2 there, so then you've got 13.
That's so many extra steps.
Yeah. So my brain.
But that's how my brain fixes
I
it fastest.
I can't.
My
Do
brain's
that.
like,
I can't separate
dominoes.
numbers because I forget the numbers that I have.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to know 8 and 5 makes 13.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a thing that I have to know. And certain numbers I'm fine with. You gave me like the 2 worst. Like
For
8
me,
and 5 I always forget is 13.
7s and 8s are bad for me.
It's
Like
bad.
someone's like, "What's 8 times 4?" I'm like, 36.
Multiplication is normally pretty alright for me. But
Yeah.
like the
well, 8
addition
times
ones,
7 is 56 because you switch the 6 and the 5. Because it says
Yeah, I
7,
don't
6,
have that
5.
memorized.
Then you fix that. 8 and 8 went on a date and didn't come back to... No. It's I ate and I got sick on the floor. 8 times 8 equals 64. Then it's 6 and 8 went on a date and didn't come back till 4 till 8.
There's so many. things to
Yeah,
remember.
I just remember
to know a
I just
number.
remember what the equate. I just
Dude.
skipped the cool mnemonic devices and just go straight to how numbers do.
Green is
Like,
go,
yo,
red is stop, yellow is
9
peaches with
times
cream
6
on
is
top,
30. That's
earth
just
is
what it
brown and blue is sky, and yellow looks well in a butterfly. Clouds are white, black, pink, or mocha. Yellow is a dish of tapioca.
I don't know what that means.
That makes no sense.
It's yellow. It's about yellow.
I have
That
no
makes
idea
no
what
sense.
yellow
Green
has
is
to do
go,
with this.
red is stop, yellow is peaches with cream on top.
Is that supposed to be?
What?
Earth
the,
is brown and blue is sky. Yellow looks
Are
well
we
in a
talking about
butterfly.
color primes? Like
Clouds
Are
are
you,
white,
like,
black,
talking
pink,
about
or
trying to,
mocha.
like, add
It
colors
said
together?
green
Like,
is blue and
Yellow is a
red.
dish of tapioca.
red, blue, and yellow are all primary colors. That everything comes from those three
I am
colors.
scared.
That's actually wrong. It's more of a like magenta, turquoisey, and yellow.
You know,
Whatever.
So actually, this is an interesting color thing. It differs whether or not you're talking about light or like art. So like, light and art have different prime colors. It's really weird.
I'm so glad I don't have to do math anymore. Fair.
So welcome to a little insight into our minds. Yeah, listening to me do complex equations is wild because it just seems like I'm a madman, like shouting out random numbers at various intervals. And that it's bad. Done of the Dragons, guys.
There's
I was-
dandy.
I was looking over at chat for a second.
Got a lot to read.
And
Dungeons and
things
Dragons.
tend to-
I don't know,
like,
so
I mean, yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it.
I have a question, DJ.
Okay.
I'll answer it.
So are we can we just go? Do we have to notify anyone that we've made it through the mountains?
I mean, you probably meet up with freaking Orden or whatever.
I mean,
his
but I
name
don't
is.
think we really need a big ceremony
Along-
because people are going to try to kill us anyway. So can Track made it through the mountains without telling anyone?
Tarak and 6,000 orcs are very different. Now, granted, they're in the orb,
Yeah, exactly. We've only got
You're in the pyramid.
we've got what, 9 people?
so you are welcome to try and sneak through.
I don't think we should
But
sneak, but I
why
don't
are-
think that we should announce it. Just contact, be like, hey, just so you know, we're good. We're making it through the mountains. If you want to
Well,
stop by and say
Renaya-
hello, feel free.
Renaya does have a spell slot left over.
Exactly. So we just, hey guys.
In descending.
I mean, we've still got a day of travel, but we just make it to the mountains. We make it through the gosh dang burning lands of pain and sadness, and then we're just like, hey, gosh dang, what's his
We
face?
did it.
Mr. Ironhilt.
Sorry.
We've got a war to win. We
Yeah,
really
we
don't
gotta
have
get
a whole lot of
going.
time.
So we're gonna keep
Well,
scooting.
You also
Thank
have
you for your
to get ship.
hospitality.
Also got a what?
Get our
Get your
ship.
ship.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That does make it much more difficult. But I mean, we can just show up.
That will take it. So instead of a 3-month journey to get back to,
Here's what we'll do.
freaking
Here's what we'll
Operon,
do.
You have
Is
a
we'll
7.
send Tarak and the Tanar to go and
Yeah,
start
you can pick us
heading
up.
out, and then we get the boat and we pick you guys up, and then you guys don't have to deal with
With the whole dwarf terrorist thing.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Look, DJ, I want to level up, and can't level up until we leave these mountains. This is what the goal is. This is what I'm trying to do.
You are welcome to make any attempts at whatever you want to do. As what everyone says in Dungeons and Dragons, you can always try.
So,
You
this
can
is...
certainly try.
So, I don't know why, but that segment that I just said there reminds me a lot of the C Team, which I have recently introduced to Grant because I think that he'll enjoy it. Another Dungeons and Dragons actual play. Really quality. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. But at the very start, they're sitting at a bar, and there's this moment where the Dragonborn Paladin, some sultry waitress, walks over and she's like, "Hey there," and he's just not having it. And at some point he just goes, I was told here to be here at noon. I'm here at noon. There's no one here. This is my nut. What is it? Why do I have? What does it do? And just the statement of, this is my nut. And he's holding a little acorn, golden acorn. Because they were given that as a key to they would know that they were there. I don't know why. That just, It just felt very similar to me. It's one of my favorite moments in the show, and it happened in episode 1.
I just have to level up. I just want to level up, and this is what I have to do.
I want to go past the mountains. This is my nut.
What do I do?
Why do I have this? What am I here for?
What's the point of having this stupid pyramid if I can't do it, you know?
Ooh, that does make me wonder what all happens when I level up.
So the best part about the whole pyramid thing is, like, we're going to get out of there, and it, like, 5 minutes will have passed.
You know what's going to happen? This is what I anticipate happening. This is what I anticipate you guys doing. You guys are going to get back to Oclaron, okay? And then you're going to be like, yo, let's do it. All out battle, once and for all. We're finishing this. Then what you guys are going to do is you're going to fly over the enemy troops. And you're just going to drop the pyramid. And just bomb 6,000 orcs right in the middle of the whole war, and they just spread out and destroy everything.
It's like when you like spawn in a bunch of like villagers on like one block, and then they all go poof out of it.
Look at you knowing your Minecraft references.
Grant would be so proud.
Dude,
right now.
Minecraft was my game in 8th grade.
Get a better computer so you can play with us.
Dude, I don't know what's wrong with it.
I mean, other than the fact that it sounds like a jet engine.
Hey, you're not wrong.
Have you tried cleaning your computer?
That's what I was just gonna say. Aaron told me that you should try clean, because I also need to clean mine.
Because like people will be amazed at how badly a computer will run, and then how much better it'll work if you just like take apart like just to the fan and then just clean the inside of it with like just a like air canister, and then just get rid of all the grossness, because the fan is vital to your computer like not overheating and dying, and then it just gets gross, and then it can't work, and then your computer is bad, and you're like, oh, I've got to get a new computer. No, just give it a bath without water, a dry bath.
Give it a little air bath, you know.
Do a air bath.
Done.
Um.
Come on, guys, we've
Yeah,
got like
that's
13
what I-
minutes to stall for.
Okay, so wait, this will be level 10.
Is it? Oh yeah, I suppose we are level 9 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one more level to kill
11,
me.
But no, it's level 10.
I keep thinking that it's level 11 too.
Oh, I'm excited.
But yeah, and then you guys will do this, and then there will probably be a little break, and you guys will probably level up 1 to 3 levels during the break. So.
Right. And how long were you thinking that break was gonna be? Like, it's a
Anywhere
break.
from 1 to 10 years.
Okay. And this isn't like us taking a break from playing on Mondays. This is our characters taking a break.
Yeah, I might like request to have like 1 Monday off to do some little like long-term planning, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. And then I'm debating, because originally, here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that, so right now the year that you guys are in is year 49. It started in 97. You guys are now in 98. And so I wanted the second campaign to be at the turn of the millennia, at the year 5000. But that's only 2 years away afterwards. So that's not a whole lot of like in between time for like major, you know, world-ending events to be happening. But kind of what I think I might want to do something like where we jump ahead, like the break is like 10 years, and then campaign 2 technically takes place during that 10-year gap or something like that on a different continent. But we'll see. We'll see what I end up deciding.
Are you thinking that, or at this point, never mind. This is probably gonna be up to us. I was gonna ask if like you knew if it was gonna be like we could just continue traveling as a group, or we like go off and do
That's up to you
things.
guys. Like,
Yeah, that's what
I
figured.
had mentioned, I think I was talking to Aaron about this, but one of the things that's been really cool, well, actually, I think we were both here. I think this was like last time we were on Table Scraps. But one of the things that's been really cool about this campaign is you guys have been so like kept busy that you guys haven't gone off on like a lot of side quests a whole lot.
Mhm.
So this will be kind of a cool opportunity for people to kind of go off and do their own things and have side quests, and then they can come back. I originally was thinking like how Cather wanted to go visit Melora's hometown, but now he doesn't know that is a thing.
So it's gonna have to be Edward who goes and visits Melora's hometown.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see if we'll see what ends up happening per se, because there's still probably 4 or 5 episodes before things actually go down. So
I've
Right.
got some plans. If I'm still alive.
yeah, you guys should definitely get that like resurrection spell or something like that. So that
Actually, DJ, this
I'm
is your
not in
best
fear of actually
opportunity.
killing one of you guys again.
Between now and the time skip is your best opportunity to kill Tarak. Reason being, one, we pretty much don't have resurrection stones right now. We're out of diamonds.
Yeah.
Reason two, once you hit level 11, Tarak has auto regen. That just happens. And so like between now, because we'll level up to 10, and that's fine. We're fine. Once we hit level 11, it becomes much more difficult. So in between now and then, during this whole
this
war
is why
arc,
people think you want Tarak to die.
and I'm just saying, as a DM, if I was going to kill a character, this would be the easiest time for me to do it.
I'm
It would
just
also
gonna
be
warn you. I'm just gonna warn you. Tarak dies. Renaya is becoming the BBEG, and you are not stopping me.
Lydia, I've got a couple.
You can go hit up Kiyomura and be like, hey man, what you doing? He'll be like, I
Hey,
mean this.
Kiki,
And then you'll be like,
so-
that's kind of a great idea actually.
You're
You
like,
know,
what?
Sup, babe? What's up? This is how I imagine Kimura talks. Yo, did you bring your hot paladin friend? Cause, like, bro, looking for a training
brought a
partner,
friend-
if you know what I mean.
I brought a friend for you, that you can talk to.
Sup, this
I
is.
was really looking forward to talking to your friend. Nothing
Yeah,
against you.
so we could
but,
totally
your
go
friend
on a
is
double
really
date. I brought
don't-
this hot demon man that I found.
Yeah, I'm covered. Thanks for thinking of me.
I mean, hey, look, the more the better, you know?
I have a boyfriend now.
I'm like,
I'm a boyfriend.
my favorite
That
thing
was
for
very
any
funny how
NPC is when they laugh just to trail off for way too long, with like an incredibly fake laugh, just to like. Like, I don't know what about it brings me so much joy. It's just like a super awkward character, like NPC, that like it's totally the right time to laugh, but they just kept going. And now they're laughing completely alone. And they like don't realize it. Oh man.
That really got to me. Don't do it again, it hurts. Stop. I can't. It hurts my tummy.
I want you to know that we just filled up a minute of time by me just laughing.
You laughing.
That was a good time. So yeah, so in the
Oh, it's my
future,
life.
in campaigns that I run and little things like that, expect to see things like that occur much more often. Also, Nalif, thank you for the bits. They are
Thank you
much
for the bits.
much appreciated here.
Thank you.
Speaking of bits, we are at an hour and 53 minutes, and DJ's not here, which means that this is the best time for me to do the outro. First off, we have socials. This is my end of the thing plug. This is what I have to do. Our socials are things like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Lydia does those. We've talked about them. They're great. They're awesome. You should be there. Other media stuff that we have, YouTube. You can go there. You can subscribe and do things, and you can look at our shorts. And if you want to join in on the fun, you want to watch us play the game, but you're like, oh my god, 60 episodes. Start at episode 50. It's a good recap moment. You can meet characters that will never be the same, and NPCs that will never get to talk to in the same way, like Lada and or whatever her name was, and stuff like that. Other than YouTube.
Wait.
What?
Before you keep going, I didn't get to say, but I am not emotionally prepared for when we come across Lada again.
Well, it's simple. We just want.
I mean, that's likely. She doesn't
Problem
remember
solved.
She
We
also
also
doesn't remember. Yeah.
have a website where you can buy. We have a merch store on there and some very badly written blog posts that you can laugh at and be like, "Oh my god, Aaron's so bad at this." You're right. Where you can support us. If you want to support us in other ways, we have a Patreon. We have a Ko-Fi. You can donate through Streamlabs, OBS, something like that. I don't know, some kind of thing that we have.
If you go down to the donate tab, just beneath what you're looking at right now, hit the Streamlabs, and then you can do it.
It's a thing. Yeah, Streamlabs. That's what it's called. Or if you just want to support us really easily, just tell your friends about us and be like, "Oh my god, these guys are stupid," and they're like, I'm down," and it would be great. Also, one of the biggest things for me, this is kind of my personal metric. Join our Discord. Our Discord is great, and if you're not in it, you're kind of a loser. Unofficially, but kind of officially. And we just love to see you there. And you can send me homebrew stuff that I can then steal for my own personal use later with credit. And other fun things like that. So you should be there and be in that. Let's see, Discord. Also, Lydia, is it up yet, your store?
No.
Well, when it is, you should be ready for that, because Lydia has a store that is open some of the time and has cool stuff in it. You can buy her merch. That's really awesome. You should do that.
It's almost ready. Really good.
And she took away hardcover notebooks, and I'll never forgive her.
But we got pillows.
Aaron hates soft things.
I hate anything that would make people feel good.
But Tarak is such a soft boy.
Yeah, why do you think I want him to
die? Boy.
But yeah,
wrap it up.
that's pretty much our stream. This was much more focused than our last Table Scraps stream. So
well, our last one we didn't have an episode.
Yeah, we didn't have anything to do.
So we just talked about Twilight.
Oh god, my eye is twitching. So yeah, so if you want to hang out for more conversations like we've had today, or if things go horribly wrong like they did last week, conversations about Twilight, feel free to stop on. We stream this every Thursday. You can't get rid of us. We also have a main campaign on Monday that if you want to understand what we're talking about without the spoilers, show up at 7 p.m. CST. We'll tell you about it in the Discord.
It is kind of fun though if you don't watch the main campaign and then you just show up and you're just like,
and then you have zero, and you're like, Havel, who's that guy? We're like, well, better if you don't know. Am I right?
It was great. We loved Havel.
It was a good time. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here.
Maz, I'm glad you got to the airport safely. Drive home safely.
Very good. Proud of you.
Well done. You did it.
Meow, airplane.
Meow. Meow. I didn't think that was... Okay, I'm going to pause time for a moment.
Bro.
I did not realize that that was a weird thing.
I can kind of
I can't... Ow! This hurts my hand.
I didn't know
but
that this
I mean,
was a thing
I
that
also
people
can't.
weren't able to do.
I can't put my thumb down for 4. That's as far as my thumbs go.
So
I mean, I can make my thumb touch, but like
this might be a.
I can't do it.
No. I'm there. So this might be a weird thing. So I learned piano when I was a kid, and so one of the things that I had to do for piano was I had to be able to separate each finger individually. That was like a training thing that we did. And so there was even like you had to like split them up into different like patterns and things. And
I had to like pressure thing where my knuckles had to be strong.
Like,
and they never were.
I'm also able to I have like the weird like thumb like double jointy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just combine those and then just flex them to the max that they can. And then you can fly. And so thank you for looking at my weird hands. That's right, I can do it twice.
I didn't get to do it this episode, so we're gonna put it in my movie reference right now. The bats with
cut
the
him off,
sound,
Aaron.
that's that reminds me of Rango.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one with the lizard?
Yeah.
That's the one where Johnny Depp is the
Is the
lizard
lizard?
who wants to be an actor and becomes the sheriff of a town. And he's just pretending the whole time. It's
I
awesome.
hated that movie.
It's such a good
It was
movie.
really weird.
It was
mean,
really
it's-
It
gross.
was
looking.
really weird. I mean, to be fair, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of Johnny Depp stuff. I love Johnny Depp. He's a great actor. Just, I don't know. A lot of his movies weren't my thing. I thought that Rango was, like, fine. It was
I thought it
weird,
was
but it was
higher.
fine. There
It's
was a
so
lot of
fun.
really good moments in it.
I do very much enjoy the bats being planes.
Yes.
Because
It's just bats.
they do that.
They do. I understand that reference. That's a movie reference that I get. But anyway, sorry for getting so off topic. At the end too. This is legitimately the end this time. Thank you everyone for stopping by. It has been a blast hanging out with y'all. Yeah, y'all. The only thing I have left to say is good luck and Godspeed. We will see you all next time, Dungeoneers.
Yeah,
Aaron is Captain America, understanding movie references.